have a signal coming in which says don't press after all. So first of all it says head left and it says don't press after all. So you've got to start and then you've got to control and stop an impulse that you've started to make. So it's exactly this idea of controlling an impulse through volition. We showed originally that what we were getting was some underactivation of frontal areas on either side, underactivation of frontal areas and of striatal areas deep in the brain. So, and it turned out that these were the same areas that were small in size, were areas that were also activating, working less hard in the people with ADHD. And this was even for children who never had medication at all, and it was even when they were getting it right. So even if they were getting it right, there was still less response in the brain for people with ADHD. And each of these pictures is a different study. So each of these are sort of showing the extent to which independent investigators have replicated that original finding. And it is pretty clear, and I think there's really not much argument now, but that there is indeed an underactivation of important areas that are involved in normal people in inhibiting. Indeed, it can go further, that we can tie the size and the activation of those areas into the presence of individual genetic changes. So this is one form of a gene, and I'll come on to the genes in a moment. This is one form of a gene, and the difference between people who've got the more pathological form of the gene, in being less activated, and those with the full ordinary version of the gene, is pretty striking.